Hey, it's Dr. Dare with 5 reasons why the death of a loved one due to domestic violence brings mixed emotions. When someone is in a domestic violence situation and it ends tragically, the family and the friends, they all, saw this journey start and watched it develop, felt helpless. And then when it ends tragically, they're left with a lot of emotions. And that leads me to number one. First of all, they're brokenhearted. Their heart is broken into pieces because this situation ended this way. And then number two, they're angry. They're angry at, that person that hurt the other person. They're angry at themselves sometimes because they feel like they should have done more. They're angry at the person who died because they feel like that person should have gotten out of the situation, which is not that easy for them. And that leads me to number three, is there's a lot of guilt. Maybe, you felt like you should have done more. The family felt like, when that person maybe called, or they should have done something else other than what they did. And nobody knows that things are going to end like this. And that leads me to number four, is that there's a lot of sadness and depression because it's a whole sad situation. Everybody's seeking love, and sometimes we love on the wrong person, or we connect with the wrong person that may, be very, very evil and hurtful in a domestic violence situation. And that leads me to number five, is revengeful. You want revenge. You want that other person who hurt the person to suffer. And, the biggest thing, you miss that person. You miss their life. You miss hearing them. You wish they wouldn't have, this path for them would have been totally different. And unfortunately, I think, it's a lot more grief. It's complex grief because you're dealing with trauma, the traumatic experience of this happening, and then just grief in itself, just losing the person who they were in your life, their routines, and all of those things. So praying for anybody who has lost a loved one to domestic violence. This month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and praying for everybody who has experienced any of this. If you are struggling with this grief, please seek a therapist so they can help you maneuver through your grief.